Does being deliberate about what you want feel hard to you? The reason we ask this of you is because we want you to reflect as we are moving forward today on this very important law-based knowledge that we hold. If you will make it a higher priority to feel your way forward, to feel into the vortex, you'll discover that then your thoughts will gravitate around that vibrational set point. And it won't feel hard to you. It's only hard to think this thought when this thought's active. And the reason it's hard to think this better feeling thought when this sore shoulder thought is active is because law of attraction's not helping you out at all. Law of attraction's dishing up to you thoughts that are in the vicinity of what's active. So you can sort of make an end run around this by deciding that you care how you feel, by acknowledging that the larger part of you feels better, by contemplating the possibility that this vortex exists, by contemplating the possibility that not only does it exist, but there's good stuff with your name on it in there swirling around with cooperative components, and just decide that you're going to just risk it and be happy for a little while. We know it's a really big price to pay. There's that sarcastic thing that never works for us. We just want you to consider the leverage of feeling your way in and then attempting to think. When you think before you get in there and then you say, oh, this thought doesn't feel good, I think I'll try to change it, it's really hard to do. But if you wake up and you feel pretty good and you go in the vortex and you milk it, in other words, if you would just make this one simple decision today, I'm going to compliment as often as I can and praise as often as I can and focus upon positive aspects as much as I can, and I'm going to complain as little as possible. I'm going to point out errors and things going wrong as little as possible. In other words, just the difference between deciding that you're going to praise rather than criticize or compliment rather than complain. Say to yourself, any word that is a complaining word, I'm going to let out. Esther will be talking along and all of a sudden she'll just be quiet and Jerry will say, I thought you were going to say something, and Esther will say, it's better this way. It's better this way. In other words, just don't say it. Just don't say it. And as you stop saying it, it'll be less active. And as you stop engaging other people in conversation about it, it will be less active. Esther said, I am not going to complain about this anymore. And Jerry said, well, complaining about complaining is still complaining. And Esther said, you're so pretty. In other words, you just can't work your way out of that, can you? You just have to decide that you're going to find a way of feeling good about whatever it is that you're living in your life. And when you find a way of feeling good, it will resolve in a way that is pleasing to you. But if you keep focusing on it, once it gets off, it will just get more off and more off and more off and more off and more off until finally you come to a place where you make a decision that you're going to be the proactive, deliberate creator of your own experience, which means you're going to direct your thoughts into alignment with who you really are and what you really want and what you've already created, so that you then can live happily ever after. And not just because the manifestations catch up, but because it feels good to appreciate and it feels lousy to complain. Yes.